Hi there, it is Heather, and I wanted to share with you my personal story of high functioning anxiety. I have discovered that when I share my personal story with people, it often helps them realize that they too have high functioning anxiety. So, when I was struggling with high functioning anxiety, I actually didn't even know that I had anxiety. I just thought that I was stressed out all of the time. And looking back, I now realize that I was struggling for probably at least 10 years. So, these are some things that happened to me when I was really struggling. So, one of the first things was on the inside, I felt like a hot mess. I just felt like I was completely spastic. My mind was going and racing constantly, but I would often hear comments from other people about how calm I was. And it didn't make any sense to me because I thought, how is it that they think I look calm? Because I didn't feel that way on the inside. So when my mind was going constantly, I was often thinking about the past. I was thinking about things that happened or conversations that I had had, and I would play those out over and over in my mind. And I would think of different ways that those conversations could have gone, or different things that I could have done in those different situations. And when I say that I was thinking about these things over and over in my mind, I don't mean just like for a day. I mean, sometimes I would do this for weeks at a time, thinking about one specific incident. And I now know that thinking about the past over and over is called rumination. At the time, I had no idea that it had a name or that that's really what I was doing, right? Because it was in my mind. So I just thought this was normal. And then if I wasn't thinking about the past, I was thinking about the future. And I was a total worrier. I would worry about all sorts of different things. And I would try and make plans in my head for those different scenarios that I was worried about. I would think, okay, well, if this happens, I could do this, this, or this. If that doesn't happen, this might happen. And if that happens, then I could do this, this, or this. Right. So these constant scenario projections, which I now know is future tripping. At the time, I just thought, well, I'm just being prepared. Another way that high functioning anxiety really showed up in my life is that I would over prepare, and I would also revise and re-edit work that I did a lot. So if I was over preparing for something, it usually related to work, although sometimes it would show up in my personal life. And the revising and editing, looking back, I did that a lot when I was in college, particularly grad school, but it really showed up in my work life. Something as simple as like just a regular email, not something that was like uber important, just a regular email. I would read it over 4, 5, 6 times, wordsmith it, make sure the punctuation was correct. I could never just, quote unquote, fire off an email. I had to make sure that everything I did was quote unquote perfect, right? I just was like hyper focused on making sure that everything that I produced was of stellar quality. And the problem with that was there really was a law of like diminishing returns, because once you spend a certain amount of time on something, you get to this point where it's like you're just putting, whipped cream on top of the sundae, putting the cherry on top, putting the sprinkles on top. It just doesn't matter anymore. It's just way, way more than you need to be doing. That's what I was doing all the time with basically like everything I produced. It was the equivalent of like, cleaning your bathroom floor with a toothbrush. Like that's the sort of thing that I probably would have done. And so I just want to let you know, if any of this story has resonated with you, I could probably make a video that's half an hour long telling you everything that I did. I do want to let you know that there is a way out. I no longer struggle with anxiety. And if you are struggling, this does not have to be the rest of your life. It really doesn't. It's not just that you need tools or techniques to manage the anxiety. You could literally not have anxiety anymore. And I'm totally living proof of that. So I would love for you to like this video, subscribe, leave me some comments below about, how high functioning anxiety is showing up in your life. I hope that my message really is helpful to you. And I have a number of other videos about high functioning anxiety as well. So definitely go and watch those.